trying. I know I look like hell. I may have stopped it.
You could show the side view. We're poor people.
We just got out of the apartment. We're gonna go and get a cheap meal from the mall just because I feel like I'm gonna fall down. I haven't been really taking care of myself the last couple days. We are a poor building. This is the average car here at this building. Cars that are, no offense to the owner, I don't mean it in a bad way, that are basically falling apart. Yes, there's a few better cars here, but what's ironic is they tend to be renters, and they spend more on their car than they do anything else. The building is a poor building. We feel that something very odd is happening here. We have never heard of this before, where a condo association can force you to pay an assessment up front or you can't close. And essentially you foresee this happening months ahead, so you want to sell. And then they tell you, sorry, we're going to foreclose on your unit, not let you sell, and take every last dime you have. So we know of 2 assessments right now that we currently have. And I happen to have maybe right now, if I'm very careful, the amount for those 2 assessments. But it's putting me in a position where I know in the next month and a half, there's another assessment coming and another one that will be announced that will start in January. And what this building is saying is that when that gets announced, I can no longer sell because I don't have that money up front to pay, which would mean this is putting me into a situation where I need to theoretically list my apartment now within the next few days for such a dramatic loss. We're talking about, it's better to get something out of the apartment than to walk away with nothing and be on the street. That the hope is that because I list so low, and I mean so low, that it could sell within a week, which means that I'm then going to run and try to become a renter somewhere around here, which is ironically probably more than the immediate payments happening at the building, but at least then I got my cash out of the building. And the major issue again is not getting by at this building month to month. It's the fact that the building has said that if you don't pay us up front, you can't go to closing and take care of this at escrow, meaning they hit you with 2-3 more assessments. You're trying to get by on a month to month. You realize 6-7 months from now, I don't think I'm going to be able to keep this up. I'd like to sell. And they're saying no. And they let the 6-7 months go, and then they foreclose on your unit, and they take every last dime you have, and I wouldn't be able to get my money out of the building. So I am being pressured into a situation now where instead of going, let me just buckle.
Watch it, it doesn't fall.
It's fine. I am being pressured into a situation now where instead of going on a month-to-month basis to see if I could save my property, to see if I could get an additional job or whatever and get by month to month, and then if you saw that, you just don't think you could do it anymore, again, you're not in default, but you just don't think you could do it anymore, then you list your apartment for sale and take care of it at escrow. And I'm being put into a situation now where I have to make a decision within the next 3-4 days to list my apartment for sale, and not only list, but to list so low that you get an offer within a day and you could hopefully sell within a week. That is the position I'm being put into because I'm being told by this condo association that they won't let you sell, which I do not believe honestly is legal. But again, these things take money to fight with attorneys, to take this stuff on with attorneys. And I don't know, like I said, I have just enough now to pay the 2 assessments to get out. And if I go and I end up spending some of that money now with an attorney, that's a risk. Some would say, well, take some of that and contact an attorney to try to stop this, but that's a risk. That's a risk also. So we're getting out now. It's very hot out, but we got into the hot car. By the way, our car doesn't have air conditioning. That's how we're struggling. We're going over to the mall.
Well, it's not only that. When you're living in Miami-Dade County and you're dealing with new car dealers here.
This is Dad, by the way.
What they did to us was they took $3,000 to fix the air conditioning.
We did this a while ago,
and they tweaked it where it worked for 3 months.
So we can't keep just shoveling money that doesn't ever end up getting fixed. So we are headed now to the mall, not to spend money, but because I haven't been taking care of myself now the last couple of days and I don't quite feel well. And I'm gonna go and just get one cheap meal from the food court and share it. And probably Chipotle, because they tend to give you larger portions in a bowl. I'm gonna try to find out some more information, hopefully today, and take this as it goes over the next couple days. And what's keeping me up at night is that I am terrified that that if this is somehow true, that they can do this, and I don't believe they can, but if this is somehow true, that they can do this, that they won't allow you to sell, I am terrified that I can't sell in time. I'm terrified that I can't sell within 2-3 weeks to get out. So, so we just arrived at the mall. Gonna just try to go get some food and, eat lunch. I feel like my voice is starting to sound weird, probably from all the talking I've been doing about this. So I'm gonna just try to go eat something now and try to calm down for a few minutes in order to eat, basically. Hold it for me. So spicy, so it messed with my throat. We got a Chipotle bowl, which we're sharing, and we're just trying to clear our head. And I've been talking so much that I've actually affected my voice a little. We're just trying to clear our head a little and actually eat a little because we haven't been taking care of ourselves. I know I look kind of a wreck, but there's nothing I can really do about that. And we're just hoping that, to see what to do, what the options are in the next day or so. But we're pretty stressed, and this is pretty scary. So yeah, just taking this kind of hour by hour.
I would mention
I'm doing a consultation with an attorney later today to see their opinion, but we are very, very scared because this seems very wrong and it has some very severe potential consequences. So there was an email response earlier this morning that I wanted to mention to you guys. The building manager, so essentially the head of my condo association, wrote me back in gibberish, basically saying he doesn't understand what I'm concerned about, but he'd gladly have me come into his office and talk to him privately, which is a big no. This is a very concerning situation. Quite frankly, my safety might be in question if I did that, and I'm not going anywhere near their office. And so I wrote him back, tell me if this is true. Are you requiring us basically not to be able to sell our units? And he won't answer yet. Still no answer on that. And but I did just get off the phone with a very nice rental complex that essentially I did my calculations, and if I'm working and maybe I have another part-time job or this or that, I actually will not drain my savings that much to rent there. In other words, yes, the rent is higher than technically at times the situation at my building a month, but there's other times it's actually going to exceed. And then the main issue is the sketchiness of this building and how you never know what assessment is next, and you just can't keep up with it. And the problem that that what they're doing, where they're saying that you can't sell, and I cannot continue on in a building like this. If I can sell now, even at a loss, and get my money out, unfortunately, I think that's what I'm going to have to do. And a lot of you guys have been helping me with that advice, and everyone's been leaning towards the same thing, saying you just got to get out while you can. And we're hoping we can if we sell correctly, priced correctly. I am going to consult with an attorney free of charge later this evening and see what he says, but you know how attorneys are. He's going to want, probably a couple $1,000 retainer, and right now I have the amount that they are requesting for the current assessment amount that they require up front. I won't have it though if this continues another couple months and the new assessment comes in. You're like, well, how do you know? No, I know that there's another assessment. There's two coming actually, and I need to do this. I need to get out of this situation as quickly as possible. I don't feel that I'm rashly doing this or doing this in a way that maybe I could have got him by on a month-to-month. That's what goes through your head. If only I could have got him by on a month-to-month, could I have saved my unit, and then my expenses eventually go down on a month-to-month basis after these assessments get through. But the way this building operates, I don't think it'll ever stop. In other words, what would the maintenance level out to if we get through all the assessments? Maybe $1,200 a month, which is less than rent, but that's not including taxes. But the thing is, it'll never stop. There'll be another assessment. We've had many assessments over the years at this building, and it will be only a matter of time till there's another. And obviously with the sketchiness of what they're currently doing now, I don't see how I could continue. Many of you have mentioned, is there the possibility that they're trying to seize control of enough units to sell it off to a developer? I know that in the Zoom session, although in that particular Zoom session they did not mention this new requirement of paying assessments ahead of time, they did answer someone's question when they asked, well, what if I can't, how will we sell? Or they did answer someone's question when they asked, in other words, that the building doesn't have any value. In other words, we were complaining about the deplorable nature of the building, and the board member who's selling his units made a comment, the property is very valuable and the land is very valuable, and it's on a peninsula, and it would be great for investors, so you could kind of connect the dots there. So that's what I wanted to add in so far to this video.
And I'm going to go tour.
So I'm planning on going to tour a rental complex in the next day, preferably tomorrow. I'm just finishing up my food, and I got a little hot coffee to share with my dad. We have some good ideas of hopefully things that if everything goes together, this will work out. We have to remain hopeful. There's a lot of concern, the association is this is a situation like I don't think anyone's ever seen. These thoughts go through your head. What if, we list and they try to do something to the sale? I guess we have to take it one step at a time, but that does seem to be like what we are going to do at this time.
I haven't heard a word back, and it is lucky that I didn't go into that office to talk to him privately.
That the last communication from the management office at my building was that he was trying to tell me I should come to his office and talk to him privately, and that's not happening. There's been no further response to him after I wrote him back asking him again my question. He hasn't written me back. We're at like 3 o'clock now in the afternoon. I also just sent an email to my accountant because I'm realizing that besides the potential very big loss on the apartment if I sell it, that I would get, number one, what I'm thinking of doing and listing it for, then the commission of the realtor. I'm also realizing that there may be a federal capital gains tax that I have to do, so you could count on another chunk coming out. I guess what I have to tell myself is that if in some world this crazy association could do this where they don't allow you to sell at escrow, I guess getting out of the situation with something is better than nothing. But under a situation like this where you're saying there's federal capital gains and you're gonna sell at a loss, you wouldn't normally sell. You would just, put up with the circumstances. But I'm terrified that if I don't sell, I could come out with nothing. So, like nothing. Like literally not be able to get my money out of the apartment. So I'm pretty scared. There's moments like where I get a cup of coffee, I calm down a little. And then there's other moments where the stress starts up again. So I wrote an email to my accountant. I got an automatic reply back. And it says he's out of town right now. So hopefully somehow he writes me back. Yeah, and I'm still waiting for my consultation with the attorney, so that's where we're at right now because it's about 3 o'clock and I'm supposed to talk to the attorney at 5. So I just got to Publix and I'm just gonna get some basic items that I need because I didn't even have the energy to go to the grocery store before. And you know, I was able to eat a little bit, which is good, and now I just need to pick up some different groceries, and then I'm going to try to get home in time to be able to talk to the attorney from home. So we just left Publix and I heard back from, I had tried to do an initial outreach to the Condo Association by utilizing some attorneys that were willing to reach out from a title company that I may end up using if I sell the unit, and they were unsuccessful. They reached out to what is the building's attorney. They reached out to the management office. There's been no reply. This is quite a situation. After I saw that email, I contacted a realtor who is the one that I believe is going to be the listing agent. And we're all concerned about this. This is going to be a very, 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 very difficult sale. We're very concerned that the building may try to sabotage the sale. The realtor told me that in the past, years ago, even before this incident happened, it would seem that the Condo Association was trying their best to make sales as difficult as possible. We're suspicious that that could happen big time here. And we're going to do our best. This is quite a situation, and I'm trying to make it home now in time to talk to the attorney. It's about 4:31 that I'm filming this part of the video, and I'm supposed to talk to the attorney at 5. And this is quite a situation. And yeah, we're pretty worried. I guess we have to take it one step at a time. The way we got into the first assessment, that one of the main assessments where we were short on the insurance, is that the building claimed they didn't know the true amount, which doesn't make sense. When you have insurance for a building, that's a quote at the beginning of the year. And it almost seems like they held back on that information because they hoped that people would fall behind and not have it in savings, and then that would make their unit delinquent. There's a lot of stuff happening here. Let me go talk to the attorney in a few minutes and I'll get back to you. So we just got home, we're unloading the groceries, and we're gonna go upstairs. Usually I have my dad drop me off in the front of the building and he leaves the groceries there, and that's how we get in. And we're actually so concerned, honestly, about my safety at this building and my safety in regard to this association and what they're capable of, that I'm not even going into the front there and standing there a few minutes while my dad comes with the groceries or parks the car. Because we're concerned, and we have just enough time now to get upstairs for the attorney to call, unless he calls early. So yeah, gonna head upstairs now. So I just got off the phone with the attorney that I consulted with, and he said that this sounds blatantly unlawful and that it wouldn't hold up in court. In other words, to force an owner into foreclosure by not allowing them to sell their property obviously sounds blatantly illegal. And it wouldn't hold up in court, but those things cost money. In other words, he told me his fees, and they're a lot, and I could technically do it, but then I wouldn't have other money for other things. So it was good to know that it's illegal and that it wouldn't hold up in court, so that we don't want to go that route. But in the event of some type of catastrophe where you ended up in foreclosure court, it wouldn't hold up. That's basically what he said. And it still doesn't mean that you want to go that route. As of now, the association has not responded yet. I've tried to reach out again and actually advising them of what this attorney has said to see if they will take back their statement. But even let's say they do, let's say they take back their statement, I don't know that that necessarily changes anything. What you're talking about is, I consulted with this attorney and he says it sounds like exactly what it is. And, you know, the association has a board, and the board can go, you know, I can see having some nice gardens here. $10 million assessment. We're going to approve it right away because we need daisies. And they could do that. They could do that until you stop it in court. And it seems like it's just going to be nonstop. So even if you stop them in one respect, I feel like they'll get you in another way. And let's put it this way. If I list my apartment, even if I list low, it's going to be quite a challenge just to sell and have them comply with selling. And then I may face obstacles where you still have this problem where they want the assessments paid in full. And I don't know that I want to give up my cash for that. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to do if I do decide to sell, or if I'm going to tell them I'm not giving it to you now. I'm going to do it in escrow, and we will go to court. But it is quite a situation. It's quite a situation. I don't know how it's comforting knowing that you have the money right now for that assessment, but it certainly would not be, it would feel very uncomfortable giving these types of people all your money and not trusting them. So I got a lot of helpful information, and tomorrow I'm going to go check out this rental complex, which is an option. So we are just headed out. As you can see, we're on the pool deck. That's where we just used the bathroom because we didn't want to use the bathroom in the lobby because this is a work day here at the building. The association is here, and quite frankly, I don't really feel safe. They are aware that I have been starting to make complaints about the building and reaching out to attorneys for consultation. And I, to be quite honest, don't really feel the safest in the lobby. So going to be, I was just being glared at by the security and a lot of the staff just now. So I'm gonna try to get out of the building now. We have some appointments we have to take care of now, and to be as safe as possible. That's weird, he's not here. So we just got into our car. We have an appointment where we're gonna go tour a rental complex here that's located in the area to see if that we do sell, if that is a possibility for us. So that's what we are about to go do, and we have to be there like in the next 10 minutes, but luckily it's not far. So we're gonna go do that now. We went to go check out a rental place in the same area. It could work. They're a little uppity, which was a little surprising. Maybe it would be better to rent from an owner who's not so uppity. I've been touching base with multiple attorneys, either directly or somewhat like a realtor doing so for me. And the feedback is that they do not believe that what the building is doing is legal. However, people can do bad things, and that means a costly court fight to fight someone who's to take on an association that's doing something wrong. In other words, is what the association is doing wrong? Yes, but it's putting you into a situation where if you don't sell and try to get out now, and should you fall behind in the future, which I don't know yes or no, that's the troubling element, that you could have a situation where you're going to need the money to go to court to try to get your money out of your apartment, or you can actually have a situation where the building holds you hostage and won't let you get out. and this is extremely troubling. So I guess you could say it's a form of, it's very troubling. I'm in the process of trying to acquire a second job. I'm very troubled. I don't understand what has happened. We always felt that the association in Miami life was sketchy, and now it's come around to bite me, because when you live in Dade County, you just cannot keep up with the level of fraud that goes on in Dade County. The level of sketchiness here, it's unimaginable. You can't keep up with it, and it's very troubling. And we may have come up with an idea of how to get through selling, but it would still require selling quickly, which is very troubling. It goes through your head, well, what if I could get another part-time job very quickly? Could I save the apartment? I don't know. And I don't know what the building's capable of. Another assessment, another whatever. And then it will be even more difficult and challenging to do what we're trying to think to do with this idea we came up with. And I am at a loss for words. I'm trying to hold it together because I'm in the process of trying to find another job. And I do not know what to say. This is the real Miami. This is the real Miami. When you see videos of girls showing you posing with the Lamborghini, that's not Miami. This is Miami. Miami is where your condo association does things like this and forces you out of your property. This is Miami. This is the life here. I'm crying. I know I look like hell. I may have stopped it. What my building was doing. I sent them. I started to write quite a few emails quoting the law to my condo association. I ended up finding their attorneys. I CC'd it to them. I think, and the insurance company, I think that they became terrified that they were all involved in some type of fraud. There's been an update from one of the attorneys who got in touch with the association, and he did it for free, that their attorney admits it was a mistake. And now we're waiting for some type of statement from the association to confirm it was a mistake. I look horrible because I've been crying. As I told you guys before, I had consulted with quite a few attorneys, and as I explained before, everyone said that what was happening, where my building was not allowing owners to sell and forcing us to pay all assessments prior to closing, or we can't sell our property and they would confiscate our units. Obviously that sounds very illegal, and every attorney I consulted with told me that it sounded illegal, but they also advised each one of them that it would be costly to take them on in court, yet they all said that they would lose and there would be severe damages. I have been rapidly sending out emails. I am not an attorney. Let me state that for this video too. I am not an attorney, but I'm intelligent, and I know how to look up law, and I know how to look up. I consulted with a realtor who brought to my attention the wording of what is called as-is contracts. I was able to find the addendum. It shows different section C under fees, assessments, and litigation, and I was able to find the wording and the verbiage that shows what essentially what the association was doing was illegal. And I wrote those emails along with others to my association, and it was CC'd to their attorneys. How did I find their attorneys' information? I went to the civil case search because my building is being sued by a contractor, and they are the attorneys that were representing my building, and I wrote them an email. And I CC'd them, and I made them aware to the situation that this appears illegal. As it turns out, especially all attorneys, but I'm going to talk specifically with Florida, lawyers have to adhere to a code of ethics under the American Bar Association and Florida Bar. And although I did not mention that to them, they know by them being CC'd that they are involved. So as it turns out, because my association is a client of these attorneys. If the attorneys are aware that a client could potentially be involved in something of a fraudulent nature, we'll call it that because that's what it would be. They're referring to it as an error. Then the attorney has to counsel their client and explain to them what they're doing is wrong, and they cannot aid them. If they aid them, they could be in not only trouble with their licensing, but it could be actually a criminal offense too, as far as I'm aware, to the attorney. And they would have to, at the very least, rescind themselves from being representation for that client. So I had a long thread of emails going back and forth with a realtor that I was considering listing my property with, which I still may, because this is one step at a time, success. And she was CC'd on all, and this realtor was CC'd on all these emails. And included in this email was these attorneys. And I was supposed to have a free consultation today from them. And when they called from the consultation, I'm losing my train of thought. I have been sending out...
That they had heard from the association attorney.
This attorney that works with the title company of a realtor to list my unit reached out to the association's attorney. There hadn't been a reply. So I was expecting a consultation today. And when he called for the consultation, he said, I have an update. And the update is that he heard from the attorney of the building, and that the attorney from the building said it was a mistake. A mistake that they tried to tell, that they told owners that they cannot sell their property, that if in the event that you feel you can't afford the bills here, you're not default, you're not behind, but you just feel you can't keep up with it, that we will stop you from selling, and we will seize your property and profit off the sale. And their attorney has acknowledged that this is an error and a mistake, and the next step is that the attorney is going to reach out to the client, which is my condo association, and hopefully we will see this formally rescinded within the next couple days. But it's a good first step. He made the comment. He's like, they could technically still remain stubborn and keep to this but I don't believe that that's going to be the case. I believe we have stopped it.
But if they told their attorney, if the association tells their representative attorney, no, we are Superman, we will do whatever we want,
then
attorney
they can't represent them anymore. They could be in trouble as a law firm, and as lawyers they could lose their licensing. They can't say what they're doing is an error, what they're doing is a mistake, and they keep doing it. Then the building's going to lose their attorneys, which happens to be the ones that are representing them on the contractor and everything. So that would be a very costly thing to have to restart with a new attorney and have them review all the documents with the other case and everything else.
And then the new attorney won't take it.
And then a new attorney may not take them because they know that they're involved with something that is not legal, because they can't engage with something that they know is illegal. And because I sent those emails to them and CC'd and got the attorneys involved, and because I was able to get an attorney that was willing to reach out to them for free, I may have stopped this. It doesn't mean that I'm not, where I need to get a second job and try to figure out how to pay these assessments, but it means that maybe I can take this a little bit slower and figure out when to sell, what price, for sure if that's happening, try to get a second job and take it like that, because that would mean that I don't need to pay the assessments before. So that's where we're at right now. The attorney for the building has stated this was a mistake and that they are in the process of reaching out to the association. And we're waiting now for some type of confirmation from the association that this is true. So that's where we're at so far. So I'm just sitting at the mall. There's a lot of families here, so it's a little loud, but I got a chicken sandwich. It's like the first thing I'm attempting to eat now in days because I've been so hysterical as to what to do. So now, it doesn't mean that I won't end up moving, but it's one step at a time. So I got back from the ear doctor and my ears are fine, so that's good because that is one less thing on my mind, because I was convinced that there was something wrong with my ears because I was hearing like a noise. But back to the point, I'm at the mall now. It would look like when I got, so in the emotional part of this video that you're going to see earlier in this video, I was hysterically at relief because it would seem that I had gotten a phone call from an attorney saying that their attorney from the association said that they were going to take down the notice. I got home last night and I was panicking because it was still up. This morning, it was actually up still. So I was sending out more emails. I was contacting the attorney. The attorney was telling me, oh, I'll get in touch with them tomorrow if it's not down. Hallelujah, it's down. So it is down, which means the first part of the battle, which is the most severe part of the battle, is done, because it means that you have the ability to sell your property. What was literally happening before is you couldn't sell your property. So in other words, even if you wanted to, in quote, panic sell, you couldn't sell your property because your assets are in your apartment. And although there may be financial issues with the building, or you get into financial issues, everything sells for a price. There's always the ability to panic sell, but what the building was trying to do was saying, you can't sell your property. You can't get out of the situation. We'll force you into foreclosure. And now the most important element is done. I have the ability to sell. And they ended up putting up a different notice, which ended up freaking us out. Like, what does this say now? And it says exactly what I wanted it to say, that in the event you, that at sale, the proceeds, that's where the assessment would come out of, which is correct. Obviously, the more we wait to sell, the more money I will lose, because the assessments and the different fees have to come out of proceeds. So in a sense, like if it was a difference between $10,000 now versus in a month or so, it wouldn't make a difference because there's more assessments coming. We also don't know if there's going to be another assessment coming, and they're not being clear on that regarding the contractor. So I'm at the mall now, and I actually have an interview for a second part-time job. So I just got to Publix, and I look a little, tired, but the good news is that the notice has been taken care of. So there's a chance that I can save my apartment. It's not, going to be an easy thing because there's a lot of bills to pay, and we're going to have to figure out, additional jobs and all of that. And I may need 2 additional jobs, but I got the notice taken care of. So at least now there's a chance that I could save my apartment. And I went over to the mall and I was able to get a second job, which I'm very appreciative of. The young woman that interviewed me was very sweet, and I really appreciate that she gave me a second job. And I guess it's just a message to everyone to keep trying. I don't know 100% I will be able to save my apartment, but it's a good start. In one day we got not in one day, but today we learned that the notice was taken down. We fought for that, and I was able to get a second job today. So today is a good day. But I may still have to complain about my building and file different official complaints on them, because we stopped this element, but we stopped this element with the notice. But the fact that this building would try to do something like this shows that perhaps there's a bigger issue going on, and perhaps more investigations need to be done to see what is going on with this building. And that's something I may pursue, because if they could do that, they could do something else. And we would like to try to stop these people who are running our building from taking our home. So it's been a good day. Some strong successes. Notice down. Second job. Yes, the second job is actually not enough when you do all the calculations, but it's a good start. And I'm determined to save my home. So thank you so much all for watching. I'm going to try to edit this all together. Yes, I look kind of a mess because I didn't, you know, I'm not glammed up because that's not reality. But I'm gonna go do some grocery shopping and I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna edit this all together. But thank you all for being here and being so supportive and being here for me and writing these encouraging comments of what to do in this situation, giving your helpful advice. And thank you all so much for being here. Again, I have YouTube channel memberships and Patreon with exclusive content, different content on actually each of those platforms, well, on YouTube channel memberships and Patreon. So if you are interested, please check that out. And thank you so much for being here. And I will see you soon in my next video. And